Good morning and happy game day to those of you that are going to join us here this morning. I'm Tina and I'm here with Reseller Mom, and we are here to talk about all things Amazon on today's show. So today we are going to be talking a little bit about Amazon's new, I don't know if policy is the right word, but the new format and way in which you need to do your flat files for those of you that use flat files.
Well,
and we're
yeah,
going to spend some time, we're going to spend some time talking on the new tariffs that have been implemented and what that can mean for us Amazon sellers as we purchase items, not only from Alibaba overseas, but even, from our suppliers, because that's where they're getting them from. So we're going to spend some time talking about that. That's a little bit about why we're doing our show a little earlier than our normal new time on Sundays, because today is the big game. So we have family festivities and foods to eat and things going on, just like all of you. So for those here with us this morning, good morning and welcome, and thank you for joining us.
Yeah, we debated whether to do it live or do it pre-recorded, or how we wanted to do this. But last week we weren't on because I was a mess. I had, for those that want to know, probably nobody wants to know, but I had foot surgery. I have a really big bone on the top of my foot, and they went in and they shaved it down and then stitched it up, and then I was on drugs all last weekend. That's my story.
That's when the best online shopping happens. So
yeah, I don't remember anything.
Did you want to start and jump in on flat files, or did you want me to talk a little bit about the tariffs first?
I also wanted to bring up a new dashboard. So that was what I think I'm ready for that, if we want to start there, and then I can kind of just go through my pages. So yeah, there's always a lot going on with Amazon, and it is game day. And to be honest, I am rooting for commercials, and we're doing a taco themed party with our friends and stuff. So I'm rooting for tacos and commercials. And I don't know, I think I'll root for the Eagles. I don't really flip a coin. Who are you rooting for?
The opposite of you. I'm rooting for Taylor Swift's team again.
That's true. Oh, I do love Taylor Swift.
As all the guys want to poke themselves in the eye right now.
I know. But I saw a little blurb that said, like, she has made the NFL like $1 bajillion since she started dating him. So maybe the NFL needs to hook up their players with the stars. So it's all one big one is not shit show, but one big fest. I don't know. Okay. So this is a new page. I have not played around with this yet, but I have bookmarked it because I will be doing the restocking, and I don't quite know what's going on because there's still, let's see here. This FBA inventory page is kind of where I go to do most of my restocking as a dashboard. Apologies, allergies in the morning here. And I use the FBA inventory page a lot. Now it says this page is being merged with that page. And what I liked, though, was it told you total days of supply, recommended, your storage unit size. It has a bunch of different things on it. It's not quite as good as the other one, though. I'm like, can you just make one inventory page that tells you all the information you need at one time? That would be fabulous. But I will go ahead and let's see here if I can find this page. It's under inventory. If you navigate to your three little lines, go inventory in your inventory dashboard, and then I picked it from there. It was under inventory, and it says restock inventory. Now the other page, and I'll see if I can screenshot this in a minute and share, but for right now, you guys might want to go check it out, is also inventory defect and reimbursement. So that one's really interesting because it will show you all of your returns for January. Isn't that lovely? So hopefully the worst month out of all the months. And it will show you your restock, your reimbursements, and all the claims going on. So it's a really good dashboard. I'll go fix up a file to do for that in just a minute. But I'm going to add, let's see here. Nope, that did not work. So now I got to remove. I don't know what I did, Tina. I did not share properly. Oh, I did window. I know better. I need to drink my coffee. There we go. So Tina's going to talk about this one. Tell me when to flip slides.
Yeah,
I have not read these.
This information was laid out by Carbon 6, I think is the name of that company. And this was a really good article. And so I copy and pasted the basics, things that we want to know. So because of the tariff costs, this is the breakdown of what it will look like as an example of how much that's really going to cost you. Now, this is definitely for those of you who are buying private label from Alibaba traditionally. And this is what it's going to look like for you. So before the tariffs, a seller importing a $600 shipment of Bluetooth earphones from China could previously avoid duties if you basically had shipped over $800 or less worth of inventory at a time. So now that this has been removed and you're paying tariffs on no matter how much is getting sent over, that same shipment now is going to give you a 10% general tariff. That's going to tack on $60 more, the 7.5% on the Section 301 tariff, which is $45. So now the new cost of having that shipped over is going to tack on another $105 per shipment for you. So there were many sellers that wanted to avoid those fees before this new tariff was implemented, and you were able to always ship over under $800 and avoid that. So now it would make more sense if you're going to have to pay these tariffs to go ahead and do the larger shipments. And that's about how much it's going to be tacked on. So with this example, depending on how many units they had, it may not tack on that much more to the bottom line. I don't know how many this would be in this example. So you're going to have to do the math of what those tariffs are going to cost you, then divide that by how many units you have to understand how much more you're going to have to sell your product for and what that's going to look like for you with your profits or how much you'll need to raise your prices on Amazon. So I thought that this was really helpful doing that math. So if you want, go ahead.
Brooklyn, I see that you asked a question about 600 per item or total shipment. What Tina was saying was that it used to be under $800, you did not get these taxes. Now that has been removed. And so anything under $800 will be taxed as she outlined below. Where this is going to really affect us from buying is for Alibaba orders. But as a consumer, who this is hitting hardest is Temu and Shein, and possibly Amazon new haul, whatever their thing is called, because all of those items used to be, and that's why Temu and Shein say all your orders need to be $800 or less, because they fell under this tariff exemption rule. And that's how those companies grew so much. So now that that's gone, all your Temu and Shein will go up by X percentage. I've heard about 25% more on the cost to get those items. So all that cheap stuff that we see on Amazon haul for $5.99, $6.99, whatever the price is going to go up by 25%, give or take, maybe 10%, maybe 25%, because they're going to tack on these tariffs to the consumer. And a lot of people didn't understand that tariffs, consumers pay the tariffs. Like China doesn't pay the tariffs. China doesn't pay any tariffs. So the consumer, whoever's importing the goods,
importing it is the one that pays for it. So if you are importing it from China, you're the one paying for it. So if you've got to pay for it, then that just means that you have to now either take less of a profit on your item if you don't raise your prices, or you're going to have to raise your prices enough to keep the same profit that you had before. So all of these, we're all going to have price increases across the board as consumers everywhere, at your grocery store, on canned goods that are imported, bananas if they're imported from, Mexico, well, maybe not Mexico and Canada yet, but you get the idea.
Yep, pretty much. All right. Next slide. Oops.
Yeah. So this was some strategies to avoid the Amazon tariffs in 2025 is to review their classifications. Now I did skip over this part, but there I did give a link to the article where I got this information from, so you guys can all read it for yourselves. I just wanted to pull out the parts that really affected us and made the most impact. So tariffs can vary greatly depending on product classification. So reviewing and optimizing tariff codes could unlock potential cost savings. Suppliers may assign incorrect codes, causing misclassification and leading to inflated tariff charges or penalties. So earlier in this article, they explain that metals are hit with a higher rates, so like for your washing machines, things like that. So different type of products, and there are different classifications for these. And in this article that I'll give you the link to at the end of this, you'll be able to click on this article, click on these links if you are somebody who imports things to make better decisions. So they are letting you know that you can consult with import experts to help you optimize your tax deductions, and they can help get these products legally reclassified. Also, sourcing different materials such as metals and woods because they have varying tariff rates. So, if you're thinking about maybe launching a new product in 2025 and you've been considering starting a new private label product and you're shopping on Alibaba, you'll want to do your research first to make sure what your product is made out of is not tariffed at a higher rate than another material. Is plastics higher than wood? What type of wood? So these are things that we as resellers, especially if you're wanting to create some new products this year, we're going to want to know what is going to cost us the least and try to find products within that material, what it's made out of.
Now, I did see an interesting little blurb or fun fact or whatever. Converse, the tennis shoe, is actually classified as a slipper because they put a piece of velvet lining somewhere in there that then classifies them as a slipper. And by doing this, they save 36% on tariffs.
It's huge.
And yeah, 36% is huge by adding that little piece of velvet in there. So that's what we're talking about. Little things like that could make a big difference.
Yeah, so you definitely want to find out where it would be classified and anything to lower your costs. Mm-hmm. So this was great homework to do prior to deciding on what type of private label item you may want to do. I think it's very helpful. So you can diversify your supply chains. If you rely solely on Chinese manufacturers, it's now riskier than ever with the suspension of the de minimis exemption and the new tariffs, adding 10 to 25% on landing cost. Sellers must explore alternative sourcing strategies, shift production to other countries. You can leverage your SPS Commerce, and there's a link to that too. They are a retail network that provides access to vetted US manufacturers, and that could be very helpful too. Just by clicking the link that will be provided, you may find a new manufacturer stateside. It may cost you more to have it made here. And so you're going to have to then do the math. Is it worth having it made here, maybe at a higher cost, versus importing it plus the tariffs? Obviously for all of us, we do go by the bottom line, even if we would prefer to have things made in our own country. And then inventory buffering. So this is what some of my clients are doing. They had at the end of the year, around November, December, they were stockpiling their best sellers before the tariffs took effect. And of course, now it's too late. But so that part of this little slide is a bit outdated. And then the last slide is actually the link. It's from Carbon 6. So Lucy can copy this link to this article and paste it in the chat. It's a very good, informative article. What I shared with you was just some highlights out of this article, but all of the links are in this article, and it really breaks it down and explains it to you better in much more detail than I did, just to be able to give you guys a quick run through.
Very cool. Thank you for finding that for us, Miss Tina. That is, and you want me to link the other one too, right?
Well, that was the only article link that was in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, all of those little links that are within the things that I highlighted
Oh, okay. All right.
are linked in this article.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
So
I
Brooklyn says, I have received offers from manufacturers in China where I pick it up from a forwarder in USA. Am I responsible for tariffs since I'm not the importer on record? Um, it
you will be.
you I want to say no if you are the one that is ordering it, then as far as I know, you are the one that is responsible for that. If you're not and they're billing it to them, believe you me, they're passing that bill on to you. You know, somebody's passing that on to you.
Pretty much. No, I lost all the links. I'm having trouble over here. I don't know where all my links went.
This if you click on the link in the last slide, it takes you there to carbon 6. Any other links you're talking about, I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, I like closed the whole thing down.
Okay, I can find that really quickly.
No, I've got that one. I lost all the rest. So now I gotta go to history. I don't remember what else we were talking about. Fudge, yeah.
As far as tariffs?
Well, anything else. I do have my screenshot though that I had said that I was going to grab from that new page. So we can move on to that.
Tariffs are going to be passed on to all of us, even as consumers in our everyday lives. You know, when we're shopping at Sam's Club, Walmart, any and everything that is imported from China specifically, think toys that are made, our cost of toys, all of that, it's going to take months before we see those prices hit the masses for all of us. You know, because right now what the stores have, they had already ordered, it already hit their warehouses before these tariffs were in place. But now that they are in place, when Walmart is buying their things, they're paying tariffs. That's going to be passed on to us. Additionally, a lot of my US suppliers that I buy from, in fact, one of my biggest supplier is here in the US, but all of their goods come from China. So the prices are going to increase for me, even buying at wholesale, because now their prices are going to increase. So I mean, that's just the name of the game. And the thing is like, we're not going to be the only ones hit with it. Every retailer is being hit with it. Every retailer is going to raise their prices. So do I think this will put us out of business on Amazon? No, it's just that the cost of goods is going to go up.
And what a lot of people don't realize is, okay, you may buy something that, because I have a client that their items are made in the US, but the ingredients that go into said thing are purchased overseas. So a lot of materials that go into the making of goods are going to have an increase, and thus we will see an increase there. So, all right. Next, moving on. This is the cool website. Not website, but it is called Inventory Defect. In fact, I just merged it. Inventory Defect and Reimbursement, which is really cool. And like I clicked, let's see here. I don't see my cursor. There we go. I clicked on this right here, and it then spreads out and it goes like 104 were reimbursed, 172 units reconciled. It looks like almost all were sellable. There was, oh, here we go. I can even hover. So let's see if I can share this. I think I can.
And they have it color coded, which is really nice down there. Yeah. You can tell the ones that are eligible for a claim is in the dark blue. The ones that are in progress are it looks like a more medium blue. Yeah. And then the resolved is the light blue area. And I'm surprised Amazon is sharing this information with us.
Hold on, it gets better because they share how much is lost in the warehouse. So
it's not like them to be so transparent. What's the catch?
I know. Why are they doing that? All right. Yeah, I can share this. Okay. So look at this. Sellable, 143 units. Lost in the warehouse, 85. How do you lose 85 items, guys? Warehouse damage, 24. Customer damage, 15. Not received, 9. So it breaks down everything that's going on. So we've got 62% reconciled, 37 were reimbursed. Just a really cool graph if you are looking at your returns, especially if you do things that are high returns like shoes or something like that. This customer, he is really, really upset about the high returns from this January. But when looking at his stuff, I don't see anything really out of the ordinary. So unfortunately, that's unfortunate that I don't see anything out of the ordinary. It is kind of what it is. And then we wanted to talk about flat files today. All right. That was the other thing. What else do we got? I don't remember if we have any questions. I didn't look for questions.
No, yeah.
Okay. Flat files, for those that are interested in doing flat files. And I will be doing some more videos on specifics with flat files for both the Amazon and Walmart is kind of on my peg for YouTube to come across this year. Brooklyn says, I believe Amazon throws you off a listing if returns are very high. They can shut down if you do have high returns. It's really kind of hard to get thrown off. It's usually if you've listed it wrong or there's something really drastically wrong. Like you're selling a single and it's supposed to be a 12-pack and they see that you have a 90% return rate. Well, yeah, because it's bad. And I really do like that policy because then it makes you look at your inventory and see what the heck is going on. I don't think I've been thrown off in a long time, and it was a one time, and it was because I did a listing mistake. I was supposed to be a multi-pack, and it was a single. Usually people don't complain if it's the other way around. If they get 12 and they thought they were getting 1, and they get 12, they don't complain. Okay, so we've got the feed processing, and this is from a flat file that I was doing yesterday. So the good news is if you are used to using the old flat files, you can still use them. She says they still work. I was on the phone for a good hour yesterday with, I would like to say she was smart and knew what she was talking about, but at the end of the day, she didn't give me any good information, and she didn't fix the problem. So she couldn't figure it out, and she had to shove it to the internal team, which tells me that maybe she's not very smart. She was nice, but maybe, and maybe smart's not the right word, but she didn't know how to fix the problem.
Yeah, not trained in it.
Well, and it was a complex problem. The problem is, and maybe I should bounce this one with you, Tina, and the audience. The UPC on a variation is coming back as flagged. Now, she checked the back end and said the UPC is fine. And my first flat file, she said it bounced back because it was a partial update, not a full update. And with this type of error, and these errors can be triggered for a full update just by having inventory go into the system, which I'm not sure I buy that one, but okay. So somehow this got flagged for some errors and needed a full update to the listing. Anyhow, I changed it to a full update, and then it was missing the dimensions because I didn't have those in, and those are now required fields for an Amazon listing. And then that's still flagged, so I put in the dimensions. And then it still flagged the UPC code. So she's like, I don't know why it's flagging the UPC code. Now, these UPC codes were bought 20 years ago. They're old ones. And when I look up on the GS1 database, they are now registered to somebody else. So my thought was that that's what Amazon's checking as they're running the UPCs against the GS1 database. And that's what's going on. But she didn't think that that was the case. So here we are.
And here we are trying to fix this problem.
Yes. And I don't know. She didn't think that that was the issue. And then I always have to ask myself, do I know more than this person on the other line? Which I do that a lot.
I would think that you would have to purchase all new UPC codes and update the listing with new UPC codes if they allow you to.
They're not going to allow you to do that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my client is livid. And he's like, he has over 600 items in his inventory that I manage. And he's like, I am not at $30 a pop. That would kill his business basically, or at least be a real big hole that we do not want to climb into. So I have not heard back from him today. I love how they tell you, oh, we'll get back to you in 24 hours. Okay. It's been 24 hours. as of right now. I called them yesterday at 8 in the morning. Love calling Amazon at 8 in the morning. Okay, so this is the template that we're usually used to. You won't see these two unless if you do a product product feed processing feed download. So you're going to start with this column right here. And I always have to highlight, right click, and then unhide whatever needs to be done. And it is a little lengthy of a Excel sheet. Now, this is the new one. And you can go over this right here. Like it says, we can use the old one. They're gonna notify 30 days before. So eventually they're gonna take away the old one. And she said the main thing was they added additional attributes. So I have not looked through to see exactly all of them. She said the big one was country of origin. So if you've been listing for a long time, you used to never have to put in country of origin. Like they didn't care when you were making a listing. And then I would say maybe 2-3 years ago, they started requiring country of origin and dimensions to make a flat file go through. And those are now integrated. So she said some of the fields of attributes that were not on the original Flash files are now included, which is nice because that's my main beef over on Walmart is you pull an attribute list and they have like half the attributes there. So it's really irritating because you can't update in a bulk form a lot of the attributes you want to update. So I didn't look to see if I need to unhide on this guy, but I probably do. We've got different colors. Awesome. I had all the other colors memorized by heart. And yeah, we definitely go, well, IO. What's the longest here? Okay, it looks about the same. So I don't know what they did. We had 2 here. So if you take out that, then they included 2 more attributes. Ooh, 2 more attributes. But that was the flat file debacle that I was in yesterday because I went to go pull one. I cannot find the variation wizard, which they used to have. So that is another thing. If you guys are trying to add variations or doing things, it used to be that you could do a variation wizard and make flat files.
I love Variation Wizard. It was my friend for many, many years.
I don't think I ever bookmarked it. Did you ever bookmark it?
No, because you could just easily get to it. In fact, I'll log in now and see if they've just moved it. But one thing I always loved about Variation Wizard, not even just for adjusting listings or merging other standalone products into a parent-child relationship, but sometimes I couldn't find something and I assumed it wasn't on Amazon. Like let's say a child. Maybe I had some children's slippers and they were size 5, 6, 7, 8, and they didn't have the 9, 10 on the drop down. And it's like it's buried. If you would copy and paste that ASIN into the Variation Wizard, sometimes that size 9, 10 was there and you could pull that ASIN. And it was nice to find hidden things in Amazon that just were not showing. I have to grab my phone to get my OTP to get in.
Yeah, go ahead and do that. I'm going to answer Brooklyn's question about what a transparency code is. And it was really nice. Casey, I don't think Casey's on watching today, but she posted a picture of it in our Facebook group. So if you have questions like that, come join us over on Facebook. We are always answering questions and very involved in making sure people can get answers on a daily basis. But this is what a transparency code is. It is a unique scannable barcode that verifies the authenticity of a product. So it is going to look like a QR code, the square barcodes, and you buy one for every single product going in. So if you have a shampoo, every shampoo bottle will have a transparency code. So if you are sending in 100 bottles of shampoo, you will have 100 different transparency codes. Now, Amazon has a transparency program, so you can buy transparency codes through them and let's see here. You can enroll your brand. You can choose to implement the transparency program, and you can buy them. I want to say they were 26 cents a piece. I don't remember how much. Yeah, there we go. Yes, we charge. There's discounts. Okay, they're not going to show it, but it's tiered. So if you're buying like 0 to 100, they're 32 cents. And if you buy 500 or more, it's 26 cents. It was less than $1 a piece, but I can't remember if it was around a quarter or under a quarter. But you can enroll your brand through Amazon.
And Variation Wizard is still there. So what you will do when you are in your Amazon seller account and you go to catalog and add products is if you're going to create a listing.
Okay, hold on. Going. All right, catalog, add products.
Yeah, and you're like you are going to create a listing. And so now you're on the page.
I see it. Yeah.
Right down there at the bottom, there
they
are 4 boxes. Yeah.
Hold on, I'll screenshot it for those and bookmark it. Let's do that. And then I need to just blank out. Oops, I'll not highlight.
Yeah, so that is definitely one of my tips for you guys that, if you are not trying to do fancy stuff like merge listings together and create parent-child relationships out of listings, but if you find yourself in that scenario, you are trying to source some Nike shoes, you've got them and you're on one of those listings that has 8 different color choices and different sizes for the color choices. And in the drop down menu, the size that you need just isn't there, not even as a sold out one, but like it just doesn't even exist. It may be there, but is somehow buried for whatever reason. If you come in here to Variation Wizard, you can copy an ASIN off of Amazon, off that listing of the Nike shoe. Doesn't matter what color or what size. Just swipe an ASIN off of one of the shoes. What you would do is you could click here on this button that Lucy has circled, the top bubble that says add to or update an existing variation family. You're not really actually doing that, but you're trying to get in there to get that data. And you would click that little bubble. What you would do is you would copy and paste that ASIN in there. And what it's going to do is it's going to pull up every single child on that listing, and you'll have to go through there. There you go. Okay? So this
I
is
just picked a shoe.
Okay, perfect. So you would here's Lucy's example. She put the ASIN in there. So you have your parent right up there at the top, and then here's all the child, and here's the ASINs that belong to that child. You can read what shoe it is. There's the UPC code. You can see the color map. Whoever created this variation listing, this is the information that person put in there. Maybe I did it, right? And so sometimes you can see where people really made a bad mistake. Now, in this case, maybe ours is the white shoe. Well, we could then at least quickly scroll down looking at only the white shoe and seeing if we can find our size. Maybe that one that's the Nike men's Air Force white 9.5 is the one that we're looking for that is not visible on the Amazon page. Well, now we can copy that ASIN right there and add it into our inventory.
You can also take the parent, put it into the add a product, and you know what, I might be able to show that too. So you can
sometimes it doesn't drop down. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like, you can take the parent, and let's say you do it in Inventory Lab, right? You put the parent, you plug it into Inventory Lab, and then all of your choices populate. And sometimes that one that you're looking for, it just doesn't show up. I don't know why. It's happened to me many times over the years, but I will find it hidden back here in Variation Wizard. Now, if it's not hidden in Variation Wizard, then it doesn't exist. It never existed. So if it is a brand that you are allowed to create a listing for, Nike would be one that you're not, of course. But let's say you had approval to create listings under the brand Nike. You could add that into Variation Wizard and add it as a child.
That's what I was going to say. That has changed too if you are playing around with it. So all I did was I took the parent ASIN, put it in here, and it used to be populated down there. Now they got this stupid sidebar. Who decided that change? That is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. It's annoying because I just want all of the information. But I cannot, it did not give me all the variations down below. It just gave me the parent, and then it said I can copy the listing because I am hard gated. So if you're gated in something, you can then copy the listing. It will populate. I did click on this the other day. It will fill in all the information, and if the brand, it will fill out the brand. And if you are not approved to sell that brand, you will need to provide you'll need to do the application for it. So that is really ridiculous as well. The whole way of doing it is more like they keep making things harder instead of making things easier. The only thing I've liked is that inventory dashboard improvements. And even that, I'm like, just put it all on the same page. Oh, Brooklyn, you are on fire today. Thank you for your questions and stuff. The listing description that you're shown is one listed as Nike 007 and another one 007. Why is that? Because children can have different names. So when you are building out a parent-child variation relationship, if I were going to do this coffee cup, I could just call the parent coffee cup, and then the children would be like, this is a better life with dogs. And then maybe I have another one that's this is a better life with cats. And each one I can name different. So the Nike shoe listing, let's bring it up. We'll pick it apart for a minute. If we look at this one, all the parents' shoe, the parent product name is just Nike men's shoe. That's all they named the parent. Whoever built this listing named it. Then they went in and for whatever reason, they did a bunch of capitalization there because I don't know why people like to write in all caps. It's annoying. And then they've got it just kind of all over the place. So Nike Air Force One, Nike men's Air Force One, Nike men's with an apostrophe Air Force One. This all goes into
different people were adding to this variation at one time. Yep. Like at one time, I used to be able to add on to Nike variations myself. And so that's what can pose a problem sometimes on these old listings is this could have been entered in by various Amazon sellers adding in the Nike shoe that they wanted. Because the way it used to be in the Wild West days on Amazon is maybe I had the Nike shoes and mine were black and I had, there was no listing on Amazon at all. I would go find a Nike listing that already looked great, that already had great rank, that was making great sales. And because I didn't want to start my new listing off as a 0 rank, and it was a Nike basketball shoe, I would come over here to Variation Wizard and now add mine onto a listing that was already getting traffic and already generating sales to kind of piggyback off of that rank and be able to sell mine. So this could be because there were multiple contributors to this listing at one time. That's why it could be that way.
When you use this variation wizard, you add the variation right here, and then you can, it's going to get assigned an ASIN. You can make the SKU whatever you want. And then for the title, I can title it whatever I want. And the reason they're all different is because everybody has a little bit different flair on how SEO works. Some people understand it. Some people don't. Some people, like the first 5 words is where your money words are. And so people clearly want men in there for some of them not. And then things like they put trainers in there, which is, I believe, a UK term, UK or Australian term for sneakers. Like Tina and I would probably say sneakers or tennis shoes, but I want to say it's Europe. They call them trainers. So, based on your audience, you're going to want to populate these words based on what your customer is going to search for, right? That's SEO 101. All right. So I maybe would have Nike shoes and maybe I have the size 10 instead of the 11. And I like how they did this. I might put that in and then do size 10. And I might do 10 US or I might do 10 UK so that, it's just a slightly different light, current, blue, white. And then I can change all these around. I might say, I don't like the apostrophe. I need the apostrophe out. And then you're going to look on your box and you're going to type in whatever the UPC code is. And then the size, color, you're going to fill this all out. And then this generate template will pop up. You generate that template and then then you go run the flat file off of that. So we used to do this all the time with baby clothes because you would find the cutest outfit at TJ Maxx, Marshalls, whatever. And it would be in Amazon like 0 to 3 and 6 to 9. And you're like, gosh, I need 3 to 6. And so you'd go in and copy and then fix it up.
And it used to be so easy. That's when Amazon used to just really be fun and a pleasure to work with.
I don't know if it's ever been fun and a pleasure. I think that
it might be me. I would knock out because I used to sell clothes all the time, and I think that's what I did. And I would sit here on an 8-hour day, and I would knock out like 80 listings because the listings already existed on Amazon in that manner, and I was just adding to the variation. I would have a bunch of men's pants or women's shirts, but my size wasn't there, and I would just knock all these out all day. And then my packer prepper would be over there once they went live and were active, was packing and prepping my shipments. And oh, I miss those days. No reason to talk about the good old days. We have to talk about the way it is now and what works now.
Oops, shoot. I did the wrong thing. Just a minute. I'm going to fix something. But I wanted to go back and talk really quick. This is why my account looks so funky some days. I want to go back and talk about transparency codes a lot, because as we talk about Alibaba and the increased tariffs and all of that, now I can show my screen. If you are doing private label Alibaba, which is something Tina and I are expanding more into with our stuff this year, you're going to be sourcing on Alibaba. And what a lot of people do is they will use Helium, Jungle Scout, whatever, to come over here and see what is selling. Okay, Tina, take that down for a minute. I'm trying to show my screen, girl. What people will do is they'll come over here and they will find, we'll say like this wax melting lamp, and they will find it over on Alibaba, and then they'll do the numbers, like how good is it, how much are these in demand, what styles are in demand. And you could see this one right here, this combination. We've got one here, one here, one here. I think this one's an exact match. So that's 2 from Alibaba already on there. This one matches that other one over there. So we've got several pings for
that exact one right there. Oh my gosh.
And they're all first page hits. And you're like, oh, okay, clearly that's doing good. I want to sell that product. And I actually ran into somebody that they bought a course, and this whole course taught them to go up and find the best selling one and then do a check to see if they are registered in brands and have a trademark, because if they don't have a trademark, they can't really kick you off. And then you go and you jump on their listing. So we'll see if these guys have any jumpers. No, they have only one seller, Gordon Lift. And then they will jump on this listing until they start to get in trouble for it and then jump off. And that way they don't have to create listings and all that. And I said, that is a really not good way to do business. That's a terrible way to do business. But thinking along those lines, if you were going to do something like this, if I were Gando Lift, Gordon Lift, Godon Lift, good golly, whatever this guy's name is, if I was this person, this might be the time to enroll in that transparency code program. Give the transparency codes to your manufacturer in China so that nobody else can jump on this listing. Because as a seller, when you want to jump on this listing, you get a ping that says, okay, what are your transparency codes for your order? And you won't be able to get inventory in.
Yeah, that's really, really good point.
That's my thoughts. That's my only good thought for the day. Tina, I'm done.
Like that.
Ready for tacos and margaritas. I'm hoping we're having margaritas. Shh, I better bring margarita mix. I have margarita mix.
Do you like salt, or do you not like salt with a margarita?
Who doesn't like salt with their margarita?
Some people don't. That's why I ask. Not only do I like salt on the rim, I like the salt in it. It sinks to the bottom. I love it.
I'll have to try that now.
I haven't had one in years.
Well, what else? What are you doing for the game? And do we have any other questions? You can put your banner up now. You and your clicky click banners.
Oh, well, they're not. You just pretend like you don't see them and just keep talking. That's all.
Yeah. No, I'm blocking the screen. I already can't see. I'm blind as a bat.
You're just supposed to pretend they're not there. Lucy and I are looking to have some of you who watch us come on and join us live. We really loved when we got to interview Ryan. He came on our channel a couple weeks ago, and all of you have something valuable to offer, whether you're a small seller or a large seller. And we just want to get to know you and have you tell your story and what you're into and what's going on in your reseller world. It's just really fun to hear what other people are doing. Everybody already knows what we're doing. We talk to each other all the time, so we want to hear from you. So don't be shy. Don't be afraid. We won't bite. reach out, leave a comment. You can email me. I have my email address in my bio section of my channel. Feel free to email me or comment here, and we will respond to your comments. But we would love to have any of our viewers on to share your stories. We want to get to know you.
Tina, do they have to be a YouTuber to come on?
No, of course not.
Do they have to sell on Amazon, or can they sell on another platform?
Any platform, honestly, because we sell on a lot of platforms.
See, anybody can do this.
eBay, Walmart, Etsy, Amazon. I have sold on Mercari, Poshmark, Facebook Marketplace, and I think most of us online resellers do sell on many platforms. Most of us don't just sell on Amazon.
Correct. Brooklyn says, very interesting topics. Thank you. ChatGPT is messing up the descriptions.
And if you don't have a description or bullet points on your Amazon listing, Amazon's AI will create one for you, and you don't want it to do that.
You always need to proofread ChatGPT. ChatGPT is not a end all be all. Mm-hmm. Nicole says, what types of products are we selling on Amazon?
I have sold everything, Nicole. Honestly, I have sold just about every product except a large thing, like not couches, not washing machines, right?
I think she means, what are we doing now? What are we selling
now? Right now on Amazon, I am not selling a whole lot like I used to before, because as you know, I got deactivated last year and I was down for almost 5 full months. I was down, I got up again, and then they took me right down again. So last year really wiped me out on Amazon because I had to remove everything and liquidate it and the whole nightmare of it all. So since getting Amazon back, I have gone into Amazon very slowly, mostly because I lost trust with Amazon. I felt very burned by Amazon, and they left a bad taste in my mouth. So I still work with all my clients with Amazon, so I'm very involved. But for me, I had been selling through Christmas time a lot of clothes, some items for children, some toy items, some seasonal food items. Now going into this year, I am selling some private label items and some wholesale items. Everything I am selling, I have letters of authorization for. So I've changed my business model many, many times over how many years have I been on Amazon? 11 years, I think. I have changed my business model many, many times over those years, as you will too, as all of us do, because Amazon is always ever changing and evolving, and we get smarter and we learn more. Going into this year, I'm going to be most likely all wholesale or private label for me.
That was a long answer.
It was a long answer because I was really thinking it through. Okay. Yeah. And I'm always super honest. So, you know me, I tell it all.
For me on Amazon, I'm still doing bundles and basically just any inventory that I had returned to me. That is where I'm kind of focusing on getting that relisted. I've been working on that since I got back up the end of November, kind of Q1 here, and then I am going to do my branded stuff over on Walmart because that's a little bit easier to do. So I have purchased UPC codes and doing bundles over there, and I am going to do a video for our bundle group on doing bundles over on Walmart, as well as kind of playing in the new ground with Amazon now that I feel like we have a grasp on what they're looking for and what they will accept, what they won't accept, all of those things. As far as a trademark, I don't know. Tina and I haven't talked about if we're going to do another trademark or not. I'm not opposed to it. We haven't thought about it, honestly. But I did book my tickets. I will be at ASD. So Tina and I are going either Sunday or Monday. I've got a friend having surgery as well on Monday, and I have my nephew's birthday. I picked like the most busiest weekend to come with. Well, I mean, not all of you guys. Nobody got together and made everything happen on that weekend. Yeah, ASD happens to be the weekend of my nephew's birthday and the weekend that my friend is getting surgery on Monday. So crazy
Busy,
pants. But we
busy.
will be there, and we will be looking for suppliers with more of a private label mindset. And then we also are trying to look to make sure that the tariffs are in line with what we want to do. You know, that's always a concern with, logistics, getting things over and processed, and where in the world is your stuff? How long is it going to take? What's the lead time? How many units do you want? What are the storage fees? All of that. So we're going to be talking with some vendors there either Sunday night or Monday.
What's really cool about ASD is they do have the floor that has all of the reps from other countries. So not everything has to come from China. There are so many other countries that you can have goods imported from. And so that's a really great opportunity to go there and look at that showroom floor. I can't remember the title of it, but it's vendor, and the rows are always by country. Like you have, Israel, and you have, I can't think of the other countries off the top of my head right now.
I remember being really interested in the Indian ones last time.
Yeah, India. They make a lot of like things out of wool in Nepal. So it's really kind of cool. You can go by country.
Yeah, I really liked the turkey stuff and the
the turkey and beautiful dishes and lighting.
Yeah. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
so gorgeous, so gorgeous.
Yeah.
So we'll be there playing around with that. And then Walmart, I mean, I also handle clients, and fiber has been keeping me busy too. I was making a sodium chloride listing this weekend, and that was just a side project. So, we get to learn different SEO, and the process is still the same. And then I have a monthly client that I have been doing the flat files with, and that's really irritating, but we'll get through it. We'll get through it. And he has me expanding over all of his 600 items are expanding over to Walmart. So trying to figure out how to massively create and do those is a thing, but not today. Today is margaritas. Tomorrow, and taxes. That's the other thing. I am taking my warehouse down. I think my last day, I got to pull my lease, but somewhere around April 1st. My building got sold, so I've had nothing but problems there. Nothing but problems. I now know how to run a commercial snake. I have taken apart. I've climbed in the attic. We have had shootings, several shootings. I don't have any bullet points. Not bullet points. I have bullet points. I didn't have any bullet holes. Thank goodness. They missed my area, but I've had to replace a window because of the landscapers. Thank you very much, landscapers. So I've had nothing but problems with that place. And my front door still sticks. I have had the guy, John, I know the maintenance guy really well because he's right next door to me, and two, I bugged him about my front door sticking. I can't get into the front door without it. Anyhow, I've had nothing but problems. I really, really hate that place with a passion. Maybe not as passionate as my husband, who has to hear about my whining. But I am counting down the days to get out of that. And then that's why we're going more with things that can go directly to the facilities. And then either I'll get a third-party system, or we will have something that's made by the manufacturers. That's my long answer.
No, that's cool.
And I had my foot surgery, so that was a really big thing. And my son graduates college this year, so I'm really excited. Yeah, this year is going to be really busy. My son turns 21 and graduates college, so I'll be down back in Vegas the end of June, and then I'm going for ASD, which will be fun, and then getting out of my warehouse, which will be great. So now it's just about moving the inventory from there, figuring out the best platform to put it on and where to put it.
And that's a beauty of in today's times, is we have so many platforms to be able to sell on, and so many different income opportunities to us online. And you can piggyback off of all the things that Amazon has to offer. What you've learned on Amazon, you can take to Walmart. If you want to, you can, we've talked about this before, you can do KDP with Amazon. You can do merch shirts with Amazon. You can do Amazon Associate, Amazon Influencer. So you can piggyback off of the many opportunities that Amazon does have to offer.
That's right. We didn't even talk about that. So Tina and I, we got together this year and we talked about our upcoming goals for this year. And one is we wanted to do more of the influencer stuff. So she's already approved. I'm in the approval process, I hope. I don't know. It's kind of blank for me right now. And it's been over a week. And then we also are looking at print on demand type items to kind of add into our stores. So that is going to be super duper fun. And I'm looking forward and excited for that.
Yeah. All right, you guys will enjoy the game today. For those of you watching, enjoy the commercials, the halftime show with me, because I don't care about the game part. Whatever.
Well, let's ask anybody if you're rooting for the right Chiefs or who's playing Chiefs or Eagles or tacos. That's what mine is. Chiefs, Eagles, or tacos. That's your vote. Go ahead and put that into the chat so we can end on a high note today, and that'll be fun. I forgot. What did you say you were doing? Where are you going for the game?
We're going to my son's in-laws' house, so it'll be their family, us, the baby. So just kind of a family hangout day, having steaks and.
Ooh, steaks. That'll be nice. We're a little bit more lowbrow. Tacos and margaritas, but that will be.
I'll be having steaks and wine.
Ooh. Okay. All right, everybody. Have a great rest of the day. Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right. Hold on.